I wouldn't sleep if I were you.
And you probably won't, especially after hearing the scary inspirations and even scarier behind the scenes for The Damned. So in the next 51 seconds, let's check out the chilling production for this little-known horror flick.
Seeing the dark side of Iceland.
The country's history and harsh winter inspired director Thordur Palsson to make this movie about a 19th century village forced to decide whether or not to help a sinking ship of passengers based on real accounts mixed with Norse mythology.
These stories of ships, wrecking around Iceland, and then the Draugur, which is the entity that is after them.
Or this spirit, coming from folklore, the supernatural force haunting this cold community. Speaking of,
it's like not a thing for Icelandic women to wear coats.
Meeting star Odessa Young went without bundling up in this way, making it worse to film in February's blizzard-like conditions.
It's very brutal.
The poor actors had to learn how to row.
The thespians had to navigate chilly waters because, after all, they are playing fishermen. So it's your favorite horror movie taking place in a winter setting. Chill out with your thoughts in the comments below. But for now, that is Minute. Now, before you set sail to a less freaky and frigid tale, cast your anchors a little bit longer because it's time for a bonus. This film is hauntingly beautiful, so where exactly does it take place?
We shot in the West Fjords of Iceland. For me, it's the most beautiful place in Iceland. You have the big mountains, you get the snow, the winter, the cold.
But the beauty has its drawbacks, even though it heavily influenced the filmmaker to come up with the premise of the film.
Very easy to get stuck there for a very long time.
And it's not a place where you'd want to be without layers for long. The crew, especially Odessa Young, said production was rough due to the bitter cold. It even threatened Thordur's health.
Even though I was dressed in warm clothing, I lost the sensation in both my big toes, and it didn't come back until 3 months later.
But the director was dedicated to making the production as authentic as possible, from keeping the wardrobe's time period accurate to using natural lighting.
All of the labs that you see in the movie are real oil labs, and they made our noses black by the end of the evening. It's all very real.
So what do you think is the most beautiful yet haunting movie of all time?
The dead can't break free if you hammer iron nails into their feet.